very grateful, very humbled by the nominations for Best Song. You just heard the song. Maite Perroni sings the song.
Maite Perroni.
Yeah, beautiful. And also for Best Film Musical, which of course all of us share. I love doing musicals. I was 26 when I got my first job in a musical, and I had never sung publicly in my life before, really, like not professionally. So it was a big surprise to me. Since then, I've done a lot of them. When they work, when you're on stage or in a film with an audience watching a musical, something different happens than happens in any other film. People's hearts open, they leap to their feet. It brings out a joy and a happiness, and that I really enjoyed going back to that. It's also we developed this and rehearsed this and shot this almost like it was a Broadway show. We were a family. We really became a family, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm really proud to be able to share the success of it with everybody. That makes sense. And I hope everyone in Mexico gets as much joy out of it as we got. Gracias. For me, P.T.'s story, P.T. Barnum, is in many ways the birth of show business as we know it today. But I think this film is about family, perseverance, about inclusion, about determination. He was a gambler. He was like a pioneer. I think of him like a Steve Jobs, like a Elon Musk. He saw the world completely differently, and he wouldn't be told no. And for me personally, I do believe in taking risks. I don't think I take risks on the level of P.T. Barnum, but it seems to me, as a 49-year-old, that most of the great rewards that I've had have involved some risk. Doing something that is other people may think is a bad idea, doing something you're a little scared of is a good thing. So I do look for that in my life. I'm not as much of a gambler as P.T. Barnum was. He would gamble everything, every time. But like P.T. Barnum, family is very important to me. For me, it's the most important thing. And in many ways, this musical, which has a lot of emotion, a lot of song and dance, in many ways is that a great reminder, particularly this time of year, of what's most important in life, which is everything we have around us, not something that's over the fence or something that'll happen in the new year, but right now. The people in our life who love us, who we love, that's really the most important thing. I don't know, it's an exciting time in my life, in that Logan finished a 17-year run playing a character, which honestly I never thought would be more than one movie. It's been amazing. I just wrapped a film with Jason Reitman called The Frontrunner, which is a political comedy, something very different. I'm excited to take on new things and different things, and I'm not sure, but I have to tell you, sitting on the stage with this incredible young woman, I've decided that I want to be like Zendaya when I grow up. So when I work that out, I'll let you know exactly. But this is my mentor here. They didn't allow me that freedom because I didn't have the same level of talent. And I remember hearing Zendaya's recording of her song. I went in to record, and they said, you should listen to this, and I was so blown away. And I said, all those things that are different from the notes, like all the little licks, I've learned that term, the licks. Did you teach Zendaya like you teach me? And he goes, no, she just did them. I said, so are you okay if I just do some stuff? He goes, no, I'm not okay. You do what I tell you. Justin and Benj, it's for me one of the great stories of this film. When we started 7.5 years ago, there had not been an original movie musical in Hollywood for 23 years. It was considered too risky, too much to ask an audience to hear 10 new songs, as well as taking a new story. So the belief and the determination was we would get Pharrell Williams, Bruno Mars, Adele, Macklemore, Lewis, big names, all to submit songs. And we would have songs that could be in a musical, could also play in a movie. And these young guys wrote one song, And it's a long story how but they got one song through. Then about 6 months later, it was 2 songs. And finally, the studio executive in Hollywood pulled Michael Gracie, our director, and I'll talk a little more about him in a second, pulled him in and said, who are these young guys? Who's this Justin and Bench? I thought we were going to big names. And he goes, oh no, they're big. They're really, really big. He goes, where? He goes, well, they're huge on Broadway. He goes, what have they done? He said, well, they just won a Tony Award on Broadway. And he goes, for what? He said, the James and the Giant Peach. There's never been a production of James and the Giant Peach, but the Hollywood executive didn't know that. So he goes, oh, okay. And so that's how they got in the door. And now they wrote all 10 songs because, and it's, I think, one of the real jewels of this film is the music. It's beautiful. It does, as Zendaya says, speaks to everyone. And Michael Gracie, who's the real P.T. Barnum of this, all of us involved, from the studio, Zendaya, me, Zach, we all were ultimately believing in Michael. He had the vision from the beginning. He has a very famous pitch for the movie that takes 45 minutes. He gave that pitch 1,000 times. And every single time, everyone was in. He made you believe. He brought you along in the same way P.T. Barnum did. And so he's really another great story, I think, of this movie. And I love that you picked up on that quote. The noblest art is that of making others happy, which is a true quote from Barnum. In his time, and I think it's true now, people had preconceived ideas about what was art and what was acceptable. It was opera, it had to enrich you, make you smarter, make you more civilized, elevate. And he was the first to go, can't we just have fun? Shouldn't art melt your heart? Shouldn't it make you cry and laugh and sing? Does it have to be important? Does it have to be elevating? Why can't we feel? And he got a lot of criticism at the time, but I think it speaks to everyone today. And I say to my kids, don't listen to the music that everyone else says is cool. If a teacher says, oh, this is a very important book, read it, but if it doesn't feel important to you, it's not important to you. Follow your heart, follow your bliss, go with that. And so that's really, I think, the legacy of P.T. Barnum. The noblest art is that of making others happy. If you can open someone else's heart, then that's a good life. 4 questions, you're going to be in trouble.